welcome to day 12 of Junk Journal July embellishments. Today we're making inches and twinchies. So what are they? So basically I'm going to cut these strips down into 1 inch and 2 inch squares, and then I've got this off 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, and these happen to be 2 inch square samples of the papers that were inside the paper pack, so I'm going to use those as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go and chop all of these down into 1 inch and 2 inch squares. You may also remember that when I was making the photo specimens, I punched out those squares out of the centres, so I'm going to use those as well. So that's all my squares now cut out, and I like this size, which is the size of my punch, not strictly 1 inch or 2 inches square, a little bit bigger. Those are the 1 inch squares, which are a little bit too small for me to be working on today, but I do have another idea for those, so I'm going to put those to one side. Those are the ones from the scrapbooking paper, and these were from some of my scraps. So what can you do with them? Well, you can decorate them up, and here's some examples. This is from my Rock Your Journal series that a lot of people have really enjoyed doing. And we decorated up each of these little squares, and they look great when you're just using 2 or 3 down the side of a page, or using them as a little tab. So you can see here 3 on the diamond, which would look lovely down the side of a page. So I'm going to have a go at playing with some of these squares, creating some of those. I've also sorted out a whole load of different bits and pieces for me to play with. So I've got some wooden elements, some crochet elements, some buttons, a little cameo. I've got a whole load of sticky flowers and stickers, so I'm going to use those. Some Tim Holtz little peoples. I've got some sequins. I've got some paper flowers and paper leaves, and I've got some resin flowers as well. So what I need to do is I need to sit and audition each of these pieces. Move them out of the way a minute. Audition each of these pieces onto these squares. Now, it doesn't have to automatically be on the square, it can be on the diamond as well. And it doesn't automatically mean that you've got to work within that square. So as you can see here, this lady fits on there lovely, but she extends beyond the actual shape, which is absolutely fine. The same with the little ballerina dancer. Let's use her on one of these squares. So again, she would look lovely on the diamond and extending beyond the actual shape itself. And then I can add some extra bits and pieces in the background as well. So I'm going to go off and go and audition some of these, and then I'll show you how I'm going to put them all together. So the simplest ones to do are to add some stickers that I've got. So I was just thinking of, and these are embossed as well, so they're slightly raised. So a little circle one in the middle of that. And I can decorate these up further. Then I thought this little square one in the middle of there. This butterfly one in the middle of this one. And this floral one in the middle of this one. But you could also have a look at your peel-offs. I've got loads and loads of peel-offs. So I could decorate these up further with some of those. And there you go, you've just turned a simple square into something very pretty and usable. So with these smaller squares, I've stuck a little label on there, and then I'm just going to put some glossy accents on the back of this cameo. And stick her down on there. And I'm going to have to wait a little while for this glue to dry because it does take a little bit longer. And then I thought about this little crochet doily. I'd got a big tablecloth with loads of these little crochet pieces on, so I cut it up. So that's that. And then this was an actual button, and I cut the shank off. Again, I'm going to use the glossy accents on the back of that and stick that in the middle there, so that's a real pretty little rose. This one again, I thought the crochet doily. On there, and this is another button, and again I cut the shank off the back of that. Some more glossy accents on the back of the button. And then for this one I'd got these 3 little flowers and a couple of leaves, and I'm going to cut the wire stems off the leaves because I don't want those in the way. And then I'll put the leaves on first, and I want them overhanging the edge of the squares a little bit. Then the blue, dark blue flower will be the centre one, the focal point if you like, and then the 2 paler flowers coming out from underneath. There. So that's the next set done. So on these squares I've been auditioning the Tim Holtz paper dolls, and I'm going to glue them in place in a minute and show you them when they're all done, but that's the kind of look that I'm going for, and they're all layered, so you know you've got some things underneath, some things on top, and that's what gives it all dimension. So with this little lady, this one here, I've added 2 of the squares together to make a double diamond, and I'm going to add this wreath on there. I'll need to work out the positioning in a minute, and then I'm going to sit her, might need that higher up, and then I'm going to sit her on top so she looks as though she's being framed with those flowers. So I'm going to go and stick these together, and then I'll come back and I'll show you all the ones that I've completed. So how would I use these inches and twinches within my journal? So as you can see, I've got a little flip out page here, and one of the ideas that I used previously on another journal was I added them as like little tabs. Now I wouldn't put these 3 together on one page. Let me just lift it up a little so you can see. But if you'd got 3 complementing squares, then they make a really nice sort of decorative element, and then you've got something to hold on to flip out those pages. But here are all the ones that I've made this morning, and as you can see there's quite a variety on there. So again, if I utilise her, so I could add her on the side of a page there. I could add some jump rings to each of these. I could add them to tags. It's quite a versatile little thing to make and really quite quick. I hope you've enjoyed today, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's video as well. Thanks for joining me. See you all again soon. Bye.